Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Danielle. I'm from Cage's Readings. Today's pick a card reading kind of has a funny title. It's why you're beautiful or what makes you beautiful. And I just really wanted a kind of a positive blessings reading. So it's really centered towards people who are just feeling a little bit off, who are just feeling, you know, just like you're needing a little more love. So that's what we're gonna look at. So yeah, I keep saying so a lot for some reason. So there we go, I'm saying it again. I did pre-pull the cards for you. We have a top card, a crystal card that you're gonna pick from. And then underneath we have some cards that are just gonna show or tell me how you shine brightly in this world. And then underneath that I have just some little reminders from you about going easier on yourself. So yeah, I don't know how long this reading will be. I often say that. I feel like it could be pretty quick, but I don't know, maybe it'll be long, who knows. So anyways, that being said, let's quickly clear the energy. Didn't mean to ding them already, but we're just doing this to ground yourselves, clear the energy in your environment a little bit. So if you have headphones in, you might want to take them out for a second or turn them down, because I'm going to do this 4 times. Okay, starting now. Okay, it's that simple. So for pile 1, your card to choose from is this Zoisite with Ruby. Pile 2 is this Turquoise. And lastly, pile 3 is this green moss agate. All right, so if you've never done a pick a card reading before, you just sort of take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and you just look at each card, and if there's one that just is really calling to you or is really catching your eye, then that is the pile for you. Sometimes people like to go into the description box below and see the timestamp beside the crystal or the pile, and then that might stand out to you as well. And if you're not feeling drawn to any of them, this just might not be a pick a card for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's so many on YouTube. You can always go and find another one. So there you have it. So I will give you a second now to pick your pile, and I'll see you in your card readings. Hello, pile 1. So you chose the Zoisite with Ruby. I'm not sure if I'm quite saying that right. I'm probably not. So my intention for this card that you chose is just that this is what attributes this crystal has, is how you are a light in this world. So I actually just Googled what it represented, and I'm gonna read that for you now. So the Ruby Zoisite has a very positive, almost playful energy. It can help to soothe emotional pain associated with grief, anger, and despair. It is particularly helpful for anyone who is grieving the death of a loved one or fearing their own death. And you know what? As I was reading this, I just kept feeling like there might be people who, like if you're really into astrology, you might have a lot of like Aries energy, or you might, for a job, actually do some sort of death doula work, or maybe you work at a hospice or something like that. I just kind of felt like for some people this really was hitting the nail on the head for what you do for work. So that's kind of cool that that came through. The other thing too is I just really feel like it just goes to show, like, literally how you're a light in this world is that you're just very playful and you really help people get unstuck out of their own pain. So you might be a friend or just a loved one to someone where, um, or you probably attract in a lot of people where they could struggle with like depression, they could struggle, I don't know, like it could be people who are just like super sensitive to the world. And I think you are as well. But because of that, it's like you get so much fulfillment out of helping other people not get stuck in the despair or in the pain of the world. So I really feel like you come in being able to see the shadow and the light of things. You're very well balanced and you can, how do I put it? You can help people move through their pain. That's what I see. And I don't know if you do it because you like literally are like I said, like a death doula or a therapist or something like that, or a grief counselor. But I feel like just you just do, just in who you are, just in the way you are in the world and how you communicate with people and your playfulness and your lightheartedness. And I feel like you have like a true gratitude for life. Like this, I couldn't help but notice in all these cards that came out on top that all of like for all the piles, there's a lot of heart energy. So I really do get the impression that you are quite connected to your heart. And I even feel like you're specifically connected to your crown and your heart. So you really pull through guidance, and I don't think you hesitate to put it out there in the world. So that's really beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. Super compassionate kind of energy. Super healing person, I feel like, to be around. Like you've probably been told in your life that you are like a little light worker or a little angel for someone. I feel like that kind of language probably gets thrown at you a lot. Like people just appreciate how kind you are or how nice you are. Yeah. So I did also just want to use this as an intention that if you chose this and you're feeling out of balance, that the question on the card would be a question to help you with getting back into your natural state of balance, or to be in integrity with yourself again. Because I feel like if we're feeling a little bit off, sometimes we just don't feel integrity with we don't feel like we're in alignment with who we are. There we go. I'm struggling to form sentences here. So it says, do you joyously give back and are unable to receive? Do you joyously give but are unable to receive? So I struggled with saying that. So it really comes to show, like, I do even think with the energy that's coming through for you, pile one, about really like trying to be there and being everyone's like ray of light in a dark place, that you probably could be a little prone to burnout. And I do think that just happens because you're trying to be the sunshine for everyone. And sometimes you need other people to be your sunshine too, if that makes sense. So taking time to joyously receive back, not feel sad about it. So someone here, I feel like I got someone being like, I am learning to receive, but if they're saying like learning to let go of the guilt of receiving. So maybe sometimes you share with other people what you're going through, and then you have a little bit of that sharer's remorse, I think is what I want to call that, where you just like feel a little guilty for having needed support, but it just comes through that. You're learning to receive it back, okay? Don't feel guilty about stuff like that. We all need connection and support. So it says, time to receive with grace. It's safe to allow others to do nice things for you and shower you with gifts. Permit blessings and love to pour into your open, receptive heart. Yeah, I definitely get that you have a super open heart chakra, but I do think that it just gets a little scared when it has to receive. So look at that. The angel of receiving is the angel associated with this card. I feel like a lot of you are like, people are always telling me that. I need to work on receiving and taking compliments and asking for help. So you're getting it again here for guidance on how you stay in balance. So it's really, this is like a huge lesson, I think, for you, pile one, a huge, huge lesson and theme in your life. You'll keep getting it until you really get this and learn how to receive joyfully, not because you feel like you have to sometimes let people give you things. Okay, so it says, I am willing to receive love. The door to my heart is open, allowing blessings to flow into my life. I accept gifts, love, and attention with ease and grace. I am grateful for all that is bestowed upon me. So that's sort of like a little affirmation you can say to yourself or put out there in the universe if you like. Okay, so we have a few cards here now for how you are a light bringer in this life. So we have spiritual technology, expand your imagination and share your visions. We have psychic gifts, learn to trust your intuition. Clothing, let your outer express your inner. The law, ooh, I like this card. Act with common sense and responsibility. Creativity, express your soul energy. Okay. So, look at that. I think this comes back to this law and the act with common sense and responsibility. I really do feel like you're someone who truly does see the shadow in the light in people and in things. Also, sorry about the lighting. I leave the blinds open because if you've noticed, my cats haven't interrupted this reading yet because they're all bathing in the sun. And so if I close these blinds so that the picture is better, then we're going to have cat interruptions. So we are keeping the weird lighting for the peace and quiet of the cats and for you and the interruptions of this reading. So anyways, if some of you are wondering why I'm doing that, that is why. So anyways, I really do think that you're just so good at truly seeing like the yin and the yang in the world, knowing that there is shadow and light to all things. And really, I feel like there's a lack of drama and judgment from you, which is just beautiful. And I think people really feel that. I think that's even why people are able to feel so supported by you, because there really is, and this comes from doing a lot of self-work, a lack of judgment, which is like, this is a positive thing. I know the way I'm phrasing it sounds a little odd, but it's like not having judgment of what they're going through or needing them to be a certain way is super healing for them. It's just, I think you're a great natural space holder is a great way to put it. You're not trying to fix them. You're just letting them be and express themselves. And that's so healing. And then there is so much here about just like how you are in the world is very joyous. And it's crazy. There's so much around your third eye in your crown. So much. Like you really see things. Like the whole picture, I think. Like in all these cards too, like you see so many layers. So it's, I think once again, comes back to why you're such a good space holder for people and why they feel safe to be really seen by you and vulnerable with you is because you're seeing all the different ins and out. You're not just hearing what they're saying from one side, if that makes sense. So like, I feel like you're just very good at not getting triggered by people because you see the whole picture and you're not just, I don't know, does that make sense? Maybe this makes sense. I feel like maybe you've been asking yourself why some people can't hold space for others. And I think it's just because they don't have this insightfulness of all the other stuff going on. So like maybe, for example, if someone's being almost kind of mean, I feel like you don't take it personally because you see where it's coming from and you recognize and you can really see and feel and know, because this crown chakra and third eye is so active, that it's nothing to do with you. It's their expression of what they're going through emotionally right now. So that's some big stuff. That's some really big things. And there's just so many hummingbirds and stuff in these pictures. So I just really feel like it's saying like, you really do help people learn to transmute or transform their negative energy into something healing. Actually, I would just say release. You help them release it. I see again and again, like you show up, you are people's hummingbirds. And I really think this is partially your job. I really think you do some kind of work where you hold space for people like this. Some of you also might work with like transgender people or something like that. I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's just like a little message coming through somewhere around that about like seeing people and understanding their hardship. So yeah, I don't know. you know, you know, you know what you know. You take what resonates and just leave the rest, you know? Okay. I think you say you know a lot. I don't know. It's not a word I use a lot, and I just used it 3 times, so that might be like a thing you say a lot, you know? You know? Or people say that to you a lot? I'm not sure. Something going on there. Okay, let's see over here. Okay, other things too, they're definitely saying that you teach people how to connect with their emotions. And this is also big because this really, really their main thing is that how you do like the most beautiful things for people is showing them how to release their emotions. So you hold space for them so that they can do the work themselves. And I feel like you just even teach them how to like go within and feel through them. Does that make sense? Like everything I keep seeing is like going within, learning their own power, learning their own ability to transmute things, which is really beautiful because I even think that's why you have such a beautiful impact on people, because you're not doing the work for them. You're teaching them how to do it for themselves so that they can ultimately become more balanced and they have the tools to move on and continue doing that through other challenges in their life. But yeah, I just keep getting, I think you come across a lot of people around death. So I feel like it has to be a job, or you're just the most unlucky person. And I'm so sorry that you meet so many people who have lost loved ones. But yeah, I think it's part of your job. That'd be really heavy otherwise, to always be knowing people who are dying. The other thing with this law of attraction, this card feel like it just goes so deep for you. I think it's even like you understand the responsibility that is put on you to not take people's power away when they're expressing things, when they're very vulnerable with you. I just feel like you really, you have such an energy of like realizing the weight of which you're carrying. I don't know. Like, I feel like someone like yourself could almost take advantage of people in your position, but you don't. But you feel the pressure of that. Does that make sense? You really feel the responsibility of it and of your power you have. And you really like to work with people and treat them as if they're on the same level as you, and people feel that. Yeah, they feel super supported by you. And the other thing I keep getting is you just have a really healing touch. So maybe you like give really good hugs. Maybe people will say like when they shake your hand or if you like touch their shoulder that they feel a little zap or something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something there with your hands, having a lot of energy associated with them. So really just such a healing person is what I keep getting from you. Okay. Yeah, and then otherwise, what else they're saying here too is just that yeah, you're very playful. That's come through and came through with your main card. But even like with your clothing, like I think you try to wear colors, you try to wear fun things, you really like light up. Like all your energy is like rainbows around you. That's what people would see. So even if you don't wear color, I think they see you as a colorful person and a playful person. You can't hide this energy about you. Like you can't really hide in a crowd if you feel like people just find you all the time. It's because your energy is just so beautiful and lighthearted that people like look up to be like, whoa, like who's admitting this ray of joy? Like where's these rainbows coming from? And it's you. It's just how you are in the world. And that's definitely how people like are drawn to you. I feel like they're in like the dark and then they're like, whoa, there's like a carnival going on over there in energy. So then they come and find you. So yes, lots of good things here. Okay, so suggestions for you to go easier on yourself. We pulled these cards here and it says it's time to leave the old behind. Rebirth, shedding the chrysalis and taking risks. Then we have reach out to the potential that is calling for you. Potential and possibility, future highest self, quantum. And then we have may sweet and soft things find you. Harmony, ease, inner child, and softness. Yeah, so I actually am feeling pretty strong career transition for this pile. I feel like maybe you've done a job for a while and it does sound like maybe it has some burnout for you. And maybe now there's an opportunity for you to be able to support and help people in a way that is more honoring to your belief systems and values that's coming through. And I feel like there maybe have been a hesitation on your part, just due to uncertainty. And honestly, you get like a little bit of not believing in yourself, not being sure if you can make it is like the words I'm getting. So you just take that if it resonates. But I just feel like, yeah, I feel like this pile, and maybe there's like a way to incorporate more your spiritual beliefs in the practices you're doing. That's kind of the bigger energy pull I'm getting towards, is leaving, maybe say like you're in hospice, but now there's an opportunity to be a death doula and be more spiritual about it, something like that. Yeah, I can't quite get the exact example, but I'm just gonna trust it makes sense for this pile. And then harmony, yeah, I feel like this is really talking about the flow. I mean, if you're watching this as it comes out, we're all in a time of flow, and like things will just come into alignment with us. And if we try to resist, then we'll experience chaos. If we just accept the flow that comes our way and the blessings that come in as they come in, then we'll be basically blissfully going through life without having to take any huge actions, just saying yes to the thing that flows towards us. So that might make sense to you based on what you're experiencing right now. Yeah, and rebirth, just definitely there's a big change coming in for you. But it does feel way more aligned with your morals and values and what you want to offer in the world, in your vision, not in someone else's vision. So I feel like there's more control in how you work, is how I'm seeing it. You set the rules more than working under a system or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you take it or leave it as you see it and believe it. I don't know. I feel like I had to say that. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a shorter reading because this is actually all I have for you. So good luck out there. Very, very, very beautiful person. And don't doubt that about yourself, okay? I'll catch you around sometime. Maybe, or maybe not. We'll see. Hello, pile two. So we have my cat Toby right over here making little turtle sounds. If you hear a little cat, it's him. Maybe he'll show his face. Let's see. Oh, you can't quite get him. Are you gonna say something, Toby? Yeah. Thanks for saying hi. Okay. Anyways, so oh, sorry, I had my phone out and I was like, why did I have it out? Pile two, you chose turquoise, and I Googled the meaning of it because I had intended that it represents your beautiful soul or an aspect of your beautiful soul in this world. And what we have here for you is, it says, turquoise is thought to promote wisdom and understanding. It is said to help clear the mind, promoting focus and concentration. It's also said to be helpful in promoting intuition and psychic abilities. This stone is thought to help you connect with your higher self in the spirit world, which, if you're like, what does that mean about me? I actually feel like it says that you're really good at teaching people, I think, is what I kind of got from it. I was wondering if this pal was a little mentory, little teachery vibes, maybe. I don't know. I just think that. I think maybe you see clients in a one-on-one session or something, or you literally teach people something, or you like teaching people something. Because I feel like you like vocalizing and sharing your wisdom and your wisdom learned through experience. Specifically for this pile, you might have been drawn to pile three. I haven't read it yet, but I had a similar energy around teacher vibes. I think what's going to be different between the two here is pile two, you all, I think are going to be more like liking to communicate it, where I think pile three is going to be more like likes to live by expressing by example, leading by example, what they've learned. Does that make sense? I mean, like I said, I haven't read the card yet. I just like got that energy. And as I'm looking at it sitting here, I'm still getting that energy. So this is more vocalization. Pile 3 is going to think be more through action and lifestyle. So anyways, I really do think I could see this grouping of people here, you being like some sort of intuitive teachers, or maybe you like teach crystal work, or you teach something where it involves developing people's intuition and spiritual gifts. Definitely intuition though. I think you're very, very much teaching people intuition. And once again, it comes up so clearly that you like to teach from your learned experiences. So basically, I think you're like a spiritual guide in this world. That's what I think you are. And I think you're very good with your communication skills. I don't know if other people have told you that, or if you've wondered if you should be better, but I think from what I can see, that you're actually quite good at vocalizing and communicating the knowledge and the information you have. And I do feel like it's learnt once again. So you might not always have been that way, but you've become quite successful at it. So good on you. I always want you to feel recognized for that, because it's so funny. I wanted to say, Lord knows it's not easy. There's a lot of weird languages coming through that are not my expression. So I just feel like this today, I'm like really channeling other people's words or something like that, because yeah, not my lingo. I don't usually say the Lord knows. I think this file it just resonates with. So anyways, my other intention too for this card was that if you're struggling at not feeling quite like yourself right now, whatever advice that would come out on this crystal card would be advice to bring you back into balance, back into integrity with yourself. So the question on it says, what do you wish to express? How do you wish to express yourself? And you actually have 3 questions. Wow. Is there something you need to say to someone? So I think all those 3 things are key things to make sure you're in harmony with or in flow with in your life, expressing so that you feel balanced and in alignment with who you are. So the one that's standing out more for me for this pile is if there's something you need to say to someone, or a conversation you've been needing to have with someone, but if maybe it's a little bit, I don't want to say confrontational, but sensitive, like sensitive information or a sensitive topic, more so on the other person's behalf, that I feel like maybe you're thinking about it a lot. So it might just be like a little confirmation. That's the word I was looking for. And something you need to do right now. So it says, expression comes in many forms. Meditate on what you would like to say and then say it. Explore Native American spiritual teachings. That's interesting. I never remembered reading that as advice on this card, but turquoise is a stone that Native Americans used a lot. So that kind of makes sense, and might even make sense why it has a bit of a shamanic vibe to it when I look at it. So maybe you're into some shamanic teachings. I'm not sure. So there's an affirmation on the back. So this is the angel expression, all about communication. It says, I open my consciousness to various forms of expression. Express myself with ease and grace. My creativity is activated. I am a channel of divine inspiration. I receive insights and wisdom from various cultures and philosophies. Interesting. Yeah, I'll let you think about that. Take it or leave it. Say it if you want to. You know, really, you do whatever you want to do with that. So next, we have cards here for how you shine brightly in this world. And I used, I feel like some of you want to know this deck name. What is this called? Golden Future. I've used them quite a bit. I got them. They're probably one of my more recent decks that I've gotten. But I really like the energy around them. Yeah, they're so nice. Okay, so you have the new children, be all you can be. We have food, choose locally grown organic produce. Angels, ask the angels. I've actually never seen this card come out in this deck yet. Homes, live in an ecological, creative, and fun space. The waters of the planet, bless the rain, river, and oceans. Whenever I see this card come through, I mean, and with the food, I get very strong environmental vibes from this pile. I wonder if you literally teach people how to be environmentally conscious. So maybe you, what's going on there? Sorry, I'm kind of just talking to myself a little bit. on the how this energy is, what this energy is trying to tell me. Yeah, sorry. I keep seeing, like, I do see you literally in parks and in places just talking to groups of people, but I can't quite make out what is being said. And this is a super specific message, so it might just be for someone here, but I feel like some of you might literally like run like foraging groups or conscious foraging. So like people aren't teaching people not to take too much. That might even be where like some of these shamanic interest is coming in, or Native American interest is coming in. Maybe you've been looking to actually explore that. Here's Toby again. Because they're all about harvesting and honoring the land, which really seems to resonate with this pile. You definitely do. When I see Waters of the Planet, I did a channeled message once, and it makes me think, every time I see this card, it makes me think of that channeled message about how if we look at garbage on the ground and get angry and upset and mad at it and go, gross, you're bad, you shouldn't be there, we actually create more of a negative impact than if we look at that piece of garbage and we go, I don't know, then you offer the land healing. Like, how would I say, like, bless that piece of garbage. Like, it sounds kind of funny to say that. Or like a better example maybe would be like really muddy water. Like really muddy water, looking at it and being mad that it looks so muddy. Or you can be like, you can literally send like gratitude and blessings of well wishes to the water and the microorganisms in there, and how like that's feeding a certain algae, which then feeds something else, which then feeds, 100 different things. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not verbalizing this example very well. But it's just like, why I think this is coming up is I think you're teaching people that instead of looking at things and sort of cursing it and being mad about it, you're teaching them to be grateful and express love and blessings towards it, not to curse things. Literally, I think you're teaching people not to curse the land because they don't really, like, you might really love that whole, what is that guy's name? He's a Japanese man who like studied water and the effects of saying good things versus bad things. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. His name is on the tip of my tongue always, but I can never quite remember. It's sort of Ashimoto something. I don't know. But anyways, I think you already know about him. Clearly you must, because you're just all into this kind of stuff. But anyways, I just keep seeing that analogy of like students who cursed rice, a jar of rice, and then they gave love and praise to another jar of rice. One was funky and moldy and gross, and the other one stayed good, like stayed fresh and eatable. And it was just showing the impact of our emotions and our intentions towards anything really, because that anything with water basically will take that on. So anyways, I think you're teaching people how to change that energy they're putting out there. And I really get such a vibe around community. So you might be running like retreats or something. This is kind of going off a different direction, but I feel like I see there's such a big mission you have towards reconnecting people with the land and community and how to work together in community to honor the land. This is if you feel so drawn towards this, and for some of you haven't done this yet, but you've been wanting to do something like this, it's coming through so clearly because this really feels like what you're supposed to do in the world. Like this is like what brings you joy and purpose and vitality, and just everything enjoyable about life comes from you creating this and teaching people this. The Ask Your Angel cards, this one's so interesting. I feel like you actually have very gentle energy. You wonder, like you have strong, like you're strong masculine energy if you're choosing this pile, and it doesn't matter your gender because there's so much action that needs to be taken, but it's also saying, but your energy is so gentle in the way that you're doing it. So it doesn't feel forceful. It just feels very like, I don't know how to quite explain it. And there's so much around like protection and like creating protection, making people feel safe, making the land feel safe. Like you're truly like a guardian of the world, of the ecosystem, of think of other people. I don't know. It's almost like they're saying like you're learning to create your own bubble so that the other stuff doesn't get to you. You're choosing to exist in your own reality, which is abundant and healing and honoring of the land. I don't know. That's really specific. It might make sense to some of you. Some of you might be like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Take it or leave it. I also feel like you might be teaching people how to do restorative farming. I don't know. Or you're looking into that, something like that. There's just definitely something around cultivating your own food and doing it in an honoring way. Once again, that Native American practices keep coming in. Maybe in like I see this person with sound bowls, and I wonder if you're like offering the land crystals or things like that to keep it healthy and sustainable. I don't know. It's really beautiful though. Big cause. This is a really big cause you're working on. Super huge. Random things that are standing out to me is this, like, I want to call it a daisy, but I'm also being told it might be representative of chamomile, which I don't know, like calm and peace is what I keep getting when I tune into that. And this artichoke. I want to Google the spiritual meaning of artichoke for this pile because I don't know why it's like talking to me. Okay, can I even spell the word artichoke? Artichoke. Spiritual meaning. Sorry, bear with me. I just feel like I want to talk about it. Okay, hope and prosperity. Wow, well, that's very true. I think that is what you're trying to embody here. Is a lot of people, I think, talk about how the earth is like, they can't do anything about it now. It's like hopeless. Who cares? What can you do? And I think you're the opposite. You are literally teaching people it's never too late. The earth can heal itself. And the power of one is enough to make a difference. Like, I feel like this is like such a strong life purpose for you. Also, it says that artichokes represent a very tender heart, which protects others. I don't know, that just makes sense with you and what's coming through. So you're doing a big mission. That's what I want to keep saying. You're doing a pretty big mission. Which makes sense why communication would be such a big thing for you, because I think you're having to communicate to different types of people a lot, people who communicate in different styles, people who value different things, and you're trying to find ways to get them to see the importance of this mission. So yeah, communication, huge. Okay, so some advice for you if you're being a little hard on yourself. We have, I like this, darling, don't you remember you are a badass. Keep winging it. I love this. I feel like this is for people who are like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to be organized enough. And I read this card and I'm like, it's saying magical energies around you. Blessings will follow you and things are always in flow. You've got this. You'll figure it out. You do. You just do. It'll just happen for you. You're a badass. I love that. Keep winging it. Yeah, I literally just heard in my head, like, some of you say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, whatever you are doing is working. Trust in the places you feel guided towards, space-time self, infinity, reincarnation, and 5D. So I actually really love this too. I feel like if you're just like, I don't know, I feel like there's just a lot of like confirmations if you're not sure if anything's working or how it's all going to work out. I just keep saying like, trust and know that you're actually doing everything as you should, and wherever you just feel called to go or pulled towards is the right place. That is the right place. Just keep following the path one step at a time. And I like how it shows like you don't know where it's going to take you, but that's the importance, is just following that intuition that you have. Won't lead you astray. We also have you're worthy of beautiful things, the servant queen, divine, magnetic, and valuable. I love the word magnetic for this pile because I really do think that things... Like, this is such a big calling. I think you're just going to be magnetized towards the right people and the right places and the right things. Magnetized is the right word, I think, for you. And to go easy on yourself. Definitely go easy on yourself, because I think, like, I actually see this person as, like, sometimes they don't sleep because they worry so much about all the things they got to do and how they're going to do it. And then you got a lot of 3s on these cards, which I really just feel like reiterates, like, you're going to find the foundations and the systems and the structures that you need to accomplish this, as you need to find them, as they come in flow and divine timing and alignment with you. Does that make sense? It kind of was a lot of words. Things find you in the right time, when you are ready, when the situation is ready, and when the place is ready. It's okay to sleep at night. It's okay for you to sleep and take a break from all the busyness of the world that you keep doing. There's the vegan. He's feeling restless. Probably kind of like you all. Okay. I know these readings actually end up being kind of short, but sometimes I don't like to like overload them with too much because I want you just to remember that you're a badass. Go where you feel guided, and you deserve some sleep, and you're worthy of beautiful things. Okay. I hope you have a good one, and maybe I'll catch you all around. Hello, Pile 3. My cat Toby is still here, meowing and huffing at me. He's very bored. Well, maybe he's gonna. Oh, he's lying down in defeat. Okay, awesome. Pile 3. You chose the Green Moss Agate, and if this is the first pile you've chosen to watch, my intention behind this was whatever stone you were drawn towards, I would look up the properties of it, and that would be a reflection of how you bring a light into this world. So I pre-googled it, and what I like about this one, I got some like intuitive hits as I pulled it, which is cool. It means there's some strong energy coming through for this one. It says grounding, balance, and focus. It is visually stunning. Gorgeous people, apparently. That's what you are, is gorgeous. Is known for calming and stabilizing. Many believe it promotes a sense of grounding, stability, balance, making it ideal for those seeking tranquility. Sorry, there is a different part that I read. Okay, it helps with focusing, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. My words are just a mess today. It enhances concentration and clarity, making it popular amongst students. It alleviates stress, improves circulation, and boosts the immune system. Helps to connect to nature and earth. So the intuitive hits I was kind of getting on this was, and I don't know, some of you might be from pile 2 because I was kind of saying how there's not a huge correlation, but there is a correlation in the sense that I felt like both piles were a bit of teachers and mentors. If you chose pile 3 and you were drawn to pile 2, it might be because pile 2 was more about communicating verbally. And I think for you, you're all about teaching and showing people through action, through the way of living. It's so funny. I'm having such a hard time forming words. I wonder if right now you're having some brain fog or something for this pile, because mentally I'm just all of a sudden getting like words are just poofing out of my brain. So interesting, because I feel like it might just also mean that you're a little ungrounded right now. And Moss Agate, I feel like you need to be in nature or take time to go into nature to be grounded, to really be embodied. Maybe you're a really big fan of the earthing movement, where you like or just putting your feet or your body as much as you can with skin contact on the ground or the grass or the dirt. That wouldn't surprise me. I feel like that really resonates for this pile. But that being said, yeah, I do just feel like you teach others through your actions. Teaching through leading. There's literally an expression I said in pile 2 describing this pile, and I can't think of it now. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, my other intention too was that whatever guidance came up on this card is what you would need to hear to become in balance with yourself again, or in alignment with who you are. Because assuming if you're watching a card reading, you might just be feeling not quite like yourself. So it says, do you like to garden? Are you a nature lover? Spend more time connecting with Mother Earth. Put your hands in the soil and your bare feet in the grass. Investigate the use of nature's pharmacy, such as herbs and aromatherapy for gentle health and well-being. Yeah, so really feel like this was pretty straightforward. I feel like if you're feeling flustered, you're having a hard time remembering things, your mind feels very chaotic, you really think it's a sign you need to go get grounded. Aromatherapy, I never thought about that, but that could be a really great way for you to also ground yourself if there's like an aroma that grounds you. I'm thinking, it's so funny, I want to say frankincense, but I know that's more activating of the crown chakra. But I don't know, I keep thinking frankincense. Maybe you really like the smell of frankincense for this pile. Or pine. I don't know if you like smell pine essential oils, but that seems really good for this pile as well. Okay, Anyway, so there's sort of like an affirmation on the back if you'd like to use it. Also rosemary, that just came through. Maybe you like rosemary or smell rosemary. Feels very grounding. Okay. I feel like you like tree-like like substances. Okay. Anyways, we're actually going to read this affirmation now. It says, I spend quality time in nature every day. I have an intimate connection with Mother Nature and her loving tools for natural healing. Essential oils and healing herbs allow me to balance all aspects of my life. Angel of plants and herbs. Yeah. Maybe you even work a lot with like herbal remedies or herbal, I don't know if you call that spells. Like maybe you like to make like little witch's brews is kind of how I want to see it. Like maybe take some rosemary for protection, and then you take like some salt, and then I don't know, maybe like mix it up and put it in a jar or something. I don't know. That's super specific, but I just feel like I see that for someone. So take it or leave it as it resonates. Okay, so how you shine brightly in this world. We have golden stellar internet, communicate in a fifth dimensional way, planetary cleansing, animals, and then we have the super love portal and robots, set yourself free in wisdom. Okay, so this actually makes a lot of sense to me, the stuff that you got. Because like once I almost feel like this pile is slightly introverted. You might kind of be like on a bit of the spectrum there where you might be maybe kind of 50-50, slightly more introverted than extroverted, or maybe you're slightly more extroverted than introverted, but you definitely have some very introverted qualities. And that's what's really coming out here, because I almost feel like you don't like a lot of attention on yourself. And I see like, I see it as like they're almost saying is like you have a lot of wisdom, but you kind of like to just be on your own in the world. So like you're doing all this stuff. I feel like you're like blessing and healing the land around you and blessing the seas, and you're very like aware of environmental issues. I definitely can see why you were drawn to pile 2 if you were, but this energy is a bit different. You're a lot more introverted, but you guys have the same sort of initiative, or what's the right word? Goal, purpose, draw in the world. Like you really want to get the environment cleaned up and honored and protected. But you're, instead of like pile 2 is more about like they're trying to get other people into it, and trying to create more change and awareness. And that's why they really need to be in their throat chakra, very verbal. You're just kind of doing it through the energetics. So like you really embody, like if you bless the land. And I feel like I see like this internet thing. I wonder if you're literally part of like an internet group of people who bless the land. Like, I don't know if that exists, but maybe it's like you've never met them in real life, but you like astral travel somewhere and bless the land with a group of people on the internet. I know this is super random example. It might not be true for everyone, but it's coming through, so I have to say it. Because I see all these people and I don't know, I keep seeing like screens, like Zoom screens or phone screens where you're all like, let's all bless the Atlantic Ocean today. And it's beautiful. It's awesome. I actually feel like this is doing huge shifts for the planet. And there's a very big thing around the oceans. I think you're very ocean focused right now. It's not the only thing you're worried about. I mean, there is like this robot thing. I'm getting really drawn towards food and clean eating, and even I feel like you're very specific on choosing foods that are still clean. That's like a word I'm hearing. Like, I wonder if you realize like there's some foods that just are hard to get untreated or unchemicaled. That's not a word. Without chemicals. I don't know. Like I said, language is weird today for me in these pick a card readings. And animals, like I really feel like you work once again with the nature, the animals. I think you just offer so much healing. And it's like the type of healing that no one will ever recognize you for. You're not doing it for the recognition. You're doing it for the love and the chilling, the chilling. I don't know what word I just tried to say there. The healing of the planet and the environment and everything on it. So you're like one of those like unseen heroes. Like you don't do it for the glory. You do it for the love and the healing. And it's really quite beautiful. And I wonder if that's even why sometimes you can feel like, I don't know, what's the right word here? A little underappreciated. People really don't see or know how much you're doing, how much energy you put into healing the world around you. But I do feel like there's this internet group. I can't unsee that. It's pretty strong for this pile. Maybe only 2 of you are going to choose this pile or something like that. Or I don't know. But yeah, it does feel pretty strong. The other thing I see, like, look at this. This person's got their feet on the grass. They're connecting with the ground. Yeah, sorry, that's a really big thing for you. Like, it's almost like I don't have that many messages from you other than make sure you are grounding yourself. And that way you will be more sustained here and being able to keep doing this healing that you like. And I even like the flying unicorn over the ocean, because I really just feel like that cements, like, you're just such a unique person, a rare person to come across who's so compassionate and so healing, like so healing. Really feel like your mission in life, your purpose in life, is largely to this planetary healing all over the place, which I'm really sorry you're not going to get recognized for, or don't get recognized for it, because it is just having such a big ripple effect. Like, everything in these cards feel light, and like things are healing and shifting. And there was like a 5-dimensional, there we go. Like, I feel like maybe you talk about being like ascending to the higher earth, which, I mean, everyone has different theories. From my understanding of it, it's just like all the dimensions are layered on top of each other, and some of us can start to see all the dimensions at once. So we can see the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, maybe even the 6 or the 7, I don't know. 8, 9, 10. I don't even think 5. I feel like 5D is this weird catchy thing, but I don't think it's the main D to be in, you know. But I think we all just can either live in one of those where we only experience one dimension, or 2 or 3 dimensions of that at once, or we can live in a world where we can kind of see all the different dimensions but kind of choose which one we're going to interact with. And I kind of think you're choosing to interact with, how would I say, more multifaceted one. I don't really want to get caught up in like what D's or things, because it just, you know, I feel like you get that. Who cares? Whatever. Ultimately, you're just here to help the world, make it cleaner, you know, be a unicorn. I almost wonder too, like, if you've done like past life work, I wonder if you'd be like, I am a unicorn. I feel like this file wouldn't surprise me if you're like, I'm literally a unicorn from another planet, from another dimension. And I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I feel like unicorns are very introverted, and they're very rare, and they do a lot of powerful work in healing, and they're very selfless, which I think you are all those things, which is why you need to stay grounded, because I think that helps fuel you, so you don't get too drained with all this healing work you're doing. It's being grounded and connected with earth. You use the energy, you channel the energy of earth into other things, or channel the energy in. It's not giving your energy away, which is important to know, to not give your own energy, but just channel energy through. Okay. Also, I don't know why, Archangel Shamuel's here just saying hi. So maybe that's an angel you work with a lot. I mean, it's all about compassion. You seem super compassionate. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, a lot of people work with Archangel Michael, but I think you might just work very closely with Archangel Shamuel. Super strong coming through. So maybe just something to look into in your astral traveling and healing, is maybe that angel keeps coming forward for you. Really just feel like she, however you would like to perceive this angel, is just giving a little shout out, like, hey, yo, I'm here. Yo. I don't know if that's how angels talk, but that's how he's talking. She's talking. He's coming through as more of a man in this, like, in the masculine energy. Which, I mean, I think Shamuel is one of those ones where, like, you know, everything is male and female energy. And I feel like I meet equal amount of people who see it as female and male. So whatever you see Shamuel as, I'm feeling like it feels more masculine right now. Anyways, so guidance on if you're being too hard on yourself. Here are your cards. It says, it is safe to surrender. Oh, sorry. It is safe to surrender to the good feelings, the lover, Aphrodite, passion, abundance. Yeah, I can see how, like, if you're always clearing, like, a lot of heavy stuff, sometimes can maybe feel like there's just, like, a lot of sad stuff in the world. And it's like, don't need to hang on to that. You can be in joy. You can be in bliss. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, heart chakra healing and just going within and feeling your feelings. I don't know, that maybe that makes sense to you, but I just feel like it's okay to feel your feelings. And then we have the Great Goddess, Transcendence, Divinity, and Shakti. I love this because I do feel like for someone to be doing this level of work, they have to really embrace their goddess side, their powerful side, their divinity side, their sensual side. Maybe you're working on that, on embracing more your sensual side. And I really like how I see like this is like the little 3D person, but like beneath that is this goddess, and that's you. God, goddess, whatever your gender is. I just feel like it's saying, know that you're more than just what the physical form shows. There's a lot of soul in that body, because even over here is like there's such a emphasis on there's more than just the physical outside of you. Does that make sense? I don't know. It feels like a weird message to say to someone, but you're more than just the physical body, okay? Okay. And then over here we said, find those who inspire you to bloom, grow together, community connection, reciprocity. So I even think this is why it's so good that you're like starting these internet connections, because it might be hard for you where you live to find and make these kind of connections that are deeper and more aligned with you. And I mean, do this kind of work with you. And I just feel like it's like a shout out to like, yes, keep reaching out to people. Just keep reaching out, grow together. Don't take on all this work on yourself. You don't have to do this alone. You're not alone. We're all interconnected. And I think maybe sometimes that's what can keep you up at night, is just feeling like you're the only one doing it, or it's all on you. And know that there's Toby again. You have help. There's other people with this mission. There's another pile in here that had a similar mission as you. It looked a little bit different, but goes to show that this is a very big mission on the planet right now. So you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay? Maybe you can even connect with people in the comments who say they're pile 2, because you might get along with them. They're more extroverted, so maybe it'll be a little intimidated for you, pile 3, but I feel like your hearts are both in the right place, and that will be connecting in itself. So, this reading is a little bit shorter. I mean, I hope it helped. I hope it brought some clarity for you. Get grounded. Remember to not channel your own energy, but channel energy through you for the healing. Okay. Good luck, pile 3. You're doing so many great things, and you're loved very much. Okay. I'm going to say goodbye now, and maybe I'll see you around.